Let me start with something most men never hear until it's too late. We grow up thinking that the secret to great sex is how hard we go, how long we last, how deep we can push. That's the myth, and it's one that's left countless men frustrated and countless women unsatisfied. Here's the truth most guys don't realize until they're in their 40s, 50s, sometimes even later. Over 80% of women do not climax from penetration alone. Let that sink in. 8 out of 10. It's not because something is wrong with her, and it's not because you're not enough of a man. It's because the most important part of her pleasure, the clitoris, is the most misunderstood part of her body. And here's what makes this so powerful. When you finally understand that, you stop chasing the wrong things. You stop thinking sex is about performance, and you start seeing it for what it really is: connection. Because the clitoris isn't just that little button you see. It's a whole structure, almost like a hidden wishbone, wrapping around her body in ways most men never learned in school. So what does that mean for you? It means the real secret isn't in pounding harder, but in learning the positions and rhythms that make her feel safe, connected, and alive in her body. Positions that let you press into her gently, that let your hips move with hers, that let her feel your presence instead of just your speed. If you've ever wondered why, despite all your effort, she doesn't always get there, it's not because you're failing. It's because no one ever taught us what truly works. That's what we're diving into today. By the end of this, you'll see why older men, with their patience and presence, are often the ones who become unforgettable in the bedroom. Here's where most men go wrong. We think faster is better. We think if we move harder, deeper, with more power, that's what will impress her. But let me tell you, nothing shuts down her pleasure faster than that. The truth is, the clitoris is one of the most sensitive organs in the human body. It has over 8,000 nerve endings, double what a man has in his entire penis. That means too much pressure, too much friction, too fast, and she'll go numb. Instead of opening up, her body will pull away. Have you ever noticed that? You're giving it your all, but suddenly she gets quieter or shifts her body like she's uncomfortable. That's not rejection. That's her nervous system saying, "Slow down, you're overwhelming me." The key isn't speed. The key is rhythm. Steady, consistent, almost like waves rolling onto the shore. A rhythm that allows her body to trust you, to relax into you, to feel safe enough to open fully. That's when she becomes more sensitive, not less. And here's what most men miss: listening. Not just to her words, but to her breath, her moans, the subtle way her hips move against yours. Those are her signals. That's her language. When she whispers "softer" or "stay right there," she's not criticizing you, she's guiding you. And if you can hear her, if you can follow her lead with patience, you stop being just another man performing. You become the man she remembers. So let me ask you, are you chasing speed or are you chasing connection? Because only one of those will make her truly come alive. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful positions most men completely overlook: when she's on top. A lot of guys think of this as the show position, where she bounces fast and wild, like in the movies. But in real life, that's not what gives her lasting pleasure. The secret here isn't in up and down motion, it's in the grind. Slow circles, gentle front-to-back glides, movements that allow her to find her own rhythm. Why is this so effective? Because she's in control of the pressure against her clitoris. She can adjust the angle, the speed, and the depth until it feels exactly right for her body. No guessing, no hoping you hit the right spot. She knows what she needs, and you're giving her the freedom to explore it. But here's your role as a man. You don't just lie back and disappear. Your presence matters. Your steady hands on her hips, your eyes locked with hers, your voice offering small words of encouragement. That's what makes her feel safe enough to let go. Think about it. When was the last time you slowed down long enough to really watch her face, to really feel the way her body was moving with yours? In this position, you're not the driver, you're the anchor. She's steering the ship, but you're the one giving her the confidence to sail all the way there. And when she does, when her body finally surrenders to that wave of pleasure, it's not just the orgasm she'll remember. It's the way you looked at her, the way you held her steady, the way you gave her space to be fully herself. That's not performance, that's presence. And presence is unforgettable. Here's something most men never stop to consider. She doesn't need penetration at all to reach orgasm. In fact, many women find their deepest release not through what happens inside, but through the clitoris. And that can be touched, kissed, caressed, even stimulated while you're both fully clothed. Think about that for a moment. The most powerful pleasure she can feel may have nothing to do with going in and everything to do with how present you are. Your hands, your mouth, your patience, these can be more than enough when you know how to use them with care. The real key isn't technique, it's attention. Can you read her signals? The way her breathing changes, the subtle roll of her hips, the quiet sound that escapes when you touch the right spot. That's her language. And when you're tuned into it, when you adjust with patience instead of trying to perform, you give her something most men never do: the freedom to simply receive. I'll tell you this, women remember those moments. Not because it was flashy, not because you were trying to prove anything, but because you made her feel safe enough to surrender. You slowed down, you listened, you cared more about her experience than about your ego. That's what separates an ordinary encounter from an unforgettable one. And if you're in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you have an advantage: the patience and presence that younger men often lack. Sometimes the best way to please a woman isn't by doing more, but by being more. More aware, more connected, more present in every moment with her.
Now, let's take a look at one of the simplest yet most powerful adjustments you can make: a modified missionary. Most men think missionary is the basic position, boring, predictable. But the truth is, when you do it right, it becomes one of the most intimate, effective ways to give her clitoral pleasure. Here's how it works. Instead of hovering above her and pumping in and out as fast as you can, lower your body so you're pressed close into her. Don't chase depth, chase closeness. From here, you move not with sharp thrusts, but with a slow, grinding motion. Your pubic bone makes gentle, steady contact with her clitoris each time you slide forward. It's not about force, it's about rhythm, pressure, and skin-to-skin connection. What makes this so powerful is how safe and connected it feels. Your faces are close, your breathing sinks. She feels your weight holding her, grounding her, instead of pounding her. And when a woman's body feels safe, something shifts. her muscles release, her sensitivity increases, and her whole nervous system starts to open. This isn't just physical, it's emotional. You're telling her with your body, I'm here, I'm with you, I'm not going anywhere. And that message allows her to let go in a way pure performance never could. I've had men in their 50s tell me they were shocked by how much their partners responded to this small change. Not more speed, not more power, but more presence. Sometimes all it takes is slowing down, pressing closer, and letting her feel you fully. That's when ordinary missionary becomes extraordinary.
Let's move to one of the most underrated positions of all, spooning. On the surface, it looks simple, almost too quiet compared to everything else. But don't be fooled. This position carries a kind of intimacy and comfort that can unlock incredible pleasure, especially for women. Here's why. When you're lying side by side, her back against your chest, the pressure is off. There's no weight bearing down on her. No need to put on a performance. It's gentle. It's safe. It's easy to stay there as long as you want. And in that safety, her body starts to relax. Her nervous system lets go. And that's when her sensitivity rises. The real magic of spooning comes from your hands. While you're inside her, you have the perfect angle to reach down and stimulate her clitoris at the same time, whether it's with a soft rub, a gentle cupping motion, or simply pressing in rhythm with your movements. That combination of penetration and external touch is incredibly effective, and yet it feels natural, unforced. But beyond the technique, spooning is about atmosphere. It's quiet. It's intimate. You can whisper in her ear, kiss her shoulder, breathe with her. These little touches remind her that she's not just being taken, she's being held. And for many women, that's the key, the feeling of being safe enough to surrender fully. This isn't the position for wild passion. It's the position for closeness, for those nights when you want her to know you're there, steady and unhurried. And when she climaxes in this space, it's not just physical release, it's the memory of being loved, supported, and completely seen. There's one element of intimacy that most men never think about, yet it can transform everything. Your breath. When you and your partner begin to sync your breathing, something powerful happens. Her brain receives a signal of safety, as if your bodies are speaking the same quiet language. You're safe here. You can let go. Think about it. When you rush, when you pant with tension, her nervous system can pick that up as pressure. But when you slow down, when your chest rises and falls in harmony with hers, her body begins to mirror yours. Her heart rate steadies, her muscles soften, and that's when her sensitivity increases. Suddenly, every touch, every movement feels more alive. This isn't just some poetic idea, it's biology. The nervous system is designed to regulate through rhythm. That's why a baby calms when held against its mother's chest, feeling her steady breath. The same principle applies here. When she senses your calm, she relaxes into you. And when she relaxes, orgasm becomes not just possible, but natural. So the next time you're with her, don't just focus on where your hands are, how your hips are moving. Pay attention to your breath. Notice if you're rushing ahead. Then slow it down. Match her rhythm. Let her feel your steadiness. Because sometimes the most unforgettable moments in bed don't come from technique or position. They come from two bodies moving as one. Two lungs filling and emptying together. Two nervous systems saying in unison, we're safe, we're connected, we can let go.
There's another position that almost feels too simple, yet it carries incredible power. The chair, face to face. She straddles you, your bodies pressed together, moving not with force, but with a slow, steady grind. No rushing, no pounding, just the kind of motion that keeps her clitoris in direct contact with you. But here's what makes this position different: the intimacy of eye contact. When she's on top of you like this, her face is inches from yours. You see her every expression, every breath, every shift in her body. That closeness changes the entire experience. It's not just sex, it's a conversation without words. Your role here isn't about taking control. It's about presence. Your hands resting on her back, sliding down to her waist, maybe tracing her thighs. Each touch reminds her you're with her, supporting her. You're giving her the freedom to move at her own pace while grounding her in your strength. That balance, her freedom and your steadiness, creates an energy that builds trust, safety, and ultimately, pleasure. And think about what it feels like for her. Not only is she in control of the angle, the pressure, the speed, but she also feels your eyes on her, your attention locked in. That kind of focus tells her she's the only thing that matters in the world at that moment. Many men underestimate how powerful this is. It's not just about friction, it's about being fully seen. And when she climaxes in this position, she won't just remember the sensation. She'll remember the way you looked at her, the way you held her, the way you made her feel like she was the center of your universe. That's connection, and connection is unforgettable.
Here's something most men never realize. When a woman reaches orgasm, she isn't just remembering the physical moment. Her nervous system is recording the entire experience. The patience in your movements, the way your eyes stayed on hers, the rhythm of your breath, the tenderness of your touch. That's what stays with her long after the lights are out. Think about your own life. You don't just remember the highlight of an event. You remember the details, the atmosphere, the way someone made you feel. It's the same in intimacy. For her, the memory of climax becomes tied to the emotional safety you created. And that memory is powerful. It deepens her trust. It strengthens the bond. It makes her want to come back not just for the physical release, but for the way you made her feel seen, valued, and cherished. This is why technique alone will never be enough. You could have perfect rhythm, the best positions, all the tricks in the book. But if she doesn't feel safe with you, if she doesn't feel your patience, your presence, your care, it won't sink deep. It will fade like another physical act. But when you combine presence with technique, when you show her through your actions that you're there for her and not your ego, that's when the experience becomes unforgettable. She doesn't just remember what you did, she remembers who you were with her in that moment. And years from now, when she thinks back, it won't be the position that stands out, it will be the connection, the way you made her body and her heart feel at the same time. That's what leaves a lasting mark.
So here's the lesson I want you to take away. Don't chase friction, chase connection. Any man can move fast. Any man can thrust harder. But that doesn't make him unforgettable. What makes you unforgettable is the way you connect with her, skin to skin, breath to breath, heart to heart. The truth is, the best positions aren't about acrobatics. They're about closeness, grinding gently, moving slowly, staying in rhythm. They're about creating steady, natural pressure that lets her feel safe enough to open. And safety, that's what unlocks her deepest pleasure. Because what women remember isn't your technique. It's not the angle. It's not how long you lasted. They remember the way you made them feel. Did she feel seen? Did she feel understood? Did she feel safe enough to surrender completely in your arms? That's what lingers in her body, in her memory, long after the night is over. And here's the beauty. As a man in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you already carry the qualities younger men often lack. Patience, presence, wisdom, the ability to slow down, to really pay attention, to put her experience above your ego. That is your advantage. And when you bring that into the bedroom, it changes everything. So don't think of yourself as a performer. Think of yourself as her anchor, her safe place, the man who gives her not just pleasure, but connection. Because in the end, that's what she'll come back for. Not the technique, not the performance, but you.